hello. All right. It's the David Washington Show, live from the Oxford Sports Pub and Secret Society here in Florida, Altamont Springs to be exact. And I am your host, David Washington. And thank you for joining me. And I must say that the title of this particular podcast is a little bit of a curveball because I'm I just want to remind Democrats how serious 2024 is, and I don't think I really need to do that, but I want to because there is so much at stake for Democrats to be relevant. They were not relevant in this last election. The resources were not there. And it appears that when you look at the Republican organization here in Florida and the Democratic organization here in Florida, that we're looking at two different levels of seriousness. And this is coming from my perspective as a political consultant, as a campaign consultant. And I spend a lot of time listening to people, watching what they're saying, what they're doing, what their movements are. And what I look for is a sense of urgency. And I get that sense of urgency with the GOP here in Florida. And again, I give much respect to Christian Ziegler, the Republican chair here in Florida. I will love to, and I hope to, hand you as many defeats as possible in the coming election cycle and moving forward. I love the competition. I'd love to win. And Christian Ziegler has definitely shown, at least through social media, that he loves to win also. Much respect. As for the Democrats, we've got issues. And I believe the Democrat chair here in Florida, Nikki Fried, understands that there is a problem. There is a funding issue. There is a voter registration issue. There's a persuasion issue. There's a motivation issue. There's a message issue. Right now, looking at the different filings for different offices, listening to people, watching people move, I'm concerned. I am very concerned. And I think I will always be concerned. That's just my nature. I think that's made me um, it's made me successful in what I do because I'm always concerned and I don't settle for less. I enjoy winning. I love winning. My clients love winning, and we try our damnedest to win every time. I was reading an article, excuse me, from the Sun Sentinel earlier this week. And this was by Steve Basquet of the Sun Sentinel. And this is what he was saying. He was interviewing a 63-year-old physician who was a highly active and reliable voter. And he sounded pretty much disillusioned about the partisan politics here in Florida. And this is what Mr. Albrecht said. We don't have a democracy in this country, and neither party is representing the people. They're funded and indebted to big money corporations, and they forgot their purpose. I believe that's true. Big money definitely runs the parties. It controls the parties. We do need to address the amount of money in our campaigns, but to this point, this is what we have, and we have to live in it until we start electing people who have the same concerns into office. This will continue to be the issue until that's changed. Other people were interviewed. A Delray Beach lawyer, 64-year-old, a longtime moderate Democrat before he switched parties. And he said, I've always been a moderate Democrat, but I haven't felt close to the party like I used to feel. I feel more comfortable calling myself an independent. An independent. The Democrats have lost a voter, a lifelong moderate Democrat. If we cannot keep the moderates, if we cannot attract more moderates, even moderate Republicans or liberal Republicans on some issues, we're losing. The gap, oh boy, the gap between the number of registered voters in Florida between the Republicans and the Democrats is growing by the day. There are more Democrats leaving the party. In this particular article, I believe it was South Florida, Broward. We've got some problems. The Republicans have sadly grown their statewide voter registration advantage over the Democrats. It stood at 473,000 more Republicans than Democrats in the state of Florida. Democrats, we have a lot of work ahead of us. A lot of work ahead of us. Steve noted that the Florida Democratic Party's slow, long descent is a result of many factors. After 2 decades of Florida having premier battleground state status, the National Party rolled off the state in the 2022 cycle. That was very evident. It hurt the Democrats. The lack of money makes it harder to recruit candidates. Very true. And the accumulation of losses naturally is discouraging to rank and file activists. We've got a special election in House District 35 now that Representative Fred Hawkins, a Republican, is resigning because of his new appointment to South Florida State College. Democrats showed up in the Jacksonville mayoral election and city commissioner races. They showed up. Well, it took involvement by the Biden campaign and the DNC to make it happen. Will we see that in the House District special election? Will we see that in the 2024 elections? I don't know. I would love to say that Florida's in play. But what the party needs to do, as I see with the Republicans, set aside all these rules and meetings and stuff like that, the bylaws, and just get back to what made the Democrats strong. Grassroots organization, direct communication with the voters, meet the voters where they're at their front doors and in front of their devices. Here's a shameless plug. Jay in Washington. That's what we do best. We meet voters where they're at. We know where the votes are. And we know how to get good people from their communities with good ideas elected. Whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or in between, we want the best people with the best ideas representing their communities. A little more about the Republicans and the Democrats. On top of everything I said, Republicans have repeatedly enacted measures designed to make it more difficult for people to vote and to register new voters. So there's more barriers in place. The latest changes in the 2023 legislative session are the focus of multiple lawsuits in Florida courts. Local activists say State Party Chair Nikki Free wants detailed plans from all 67 county organizations on how to register voters. How about one big plan and each county just tweaks it to the needs of their county, to the needs of their organizations? It's a lot of work. Mr. Scott, I hope I'm not butchering your name too bad. But Steve Basquette, this is a great article. Gave a lot of thought moving forward. It's giving me some thought. Do a little bit more research so that I can do my job better, so that JEW can do their job better, so that the people that we work with, that we work for, can be better advocates for their communities. Again, we want the best people representing the best ideas, regardless of political persuasion or affiliation, to represent their communities. It's what we do. Let me know what you think, whether you like it or not, or somewhere in between. Let's share some ideas. Like, share, hit the notification. You know how to reach us. We're on all the socials, except for TikTok. That's a crazy one. But anyway, I'm David Washington. This is David Washington Show. We'll see you the next time. Peace.